Hi, We Call Wargaming here with a response to Vince Venturella's topic of the week, which is on tournaments, AOS tournaments, favorite tournament experiences. I thought, wow, I mean, what a good topic, because it happens to be that this next coming week, Beef and Wing is having the Brawl, which is I have a little bit to do with, and they have about 20 odd people so far, so still a week to go. Still, I think 7 more spots to go, so there's still a little bit of room, but it should be a pretty good turnout anyhow. Just to address the topic specifically, I would say that I've always had a great time at tournaments. It's a great motivator to kind of push you to get projects done, but also I do have a couple thoughts about like the whack gamer as well. Okay, let's just take all these in order. So like, number one, I think it's a great motivator to get your projects done, get your 2,000 points done. Nothing really forces you to kind of get down and do that basing that you need to do. You know, finish those details that you really should have done a long time ago. Than having a tournament. That's one benefit. The second point I wanted to bring up is the topic of like not going to a tournament because you're afraid of the type of player that is there, the win at all costs. That's going to be there for sure. They're going to be there, and I'd say, you know, probably one of the things that it's been an evolution for myself is that I've thought, well, not much I can do about that. I mean, I think you run into that at your local hobby game store, you know, like where some guys you don't know come in, they ask you for a game, and then they bust out a pretty savage list, and you know, what are you gonna do? Like pick up and leave? I mean, we'll play this game, it's fine. And also, it gives you exposure to like what that savagery really is. And I mean, unless you experience like those lists in person, you're only getting kind of like internet perspective on it, or like Theory Hammer, which is like the worst. So, you know, nothing quite like getting that Liberator bomb to the face and then really having a first person perspective on it. And then I would say, okay, so now like the third part is really what is my favorite tournament experience. You know, I always say that my favorite experiences have been like with my friends, and where we're all very supportive of each other. So to that end, I'd say there's 2 really great experiences I have. One is the Can Hammer Team Tournament. You know, where it's a team-based tournament style where you have 4 or 5 players all working together, coordinating, and winning as a team. And that's a really unique and very fun environment. You don't get a lot of that in AOS tournaments in North America, but for 40K specifically, it's been fantastic. And I'd love to go to ETC and play Age of Sigmar team, but yeah, it might be hard to get a whole team together, honestly. And I'd say the other time that I had a really great time in the tournament was at LVO. You know, I was able to convince my friend Joe Duca, who was a big fantasy player back in the day. He went to ETC, represented ETC Canada for the one time they went for fantasy in 8th edition, and then, you know, he kind of had to play 40K because Age of Sigmar, when it first came out, he was not feeling, and so I was able to bring him back, and I was like, okay, don't worry, just play Stormcast Eternals, you know, come to LVO, you know, maybe you won't win that much, but it's fine, don't worry about it. And he did so well, and we were just all so pumped, and it was a great environment, I'd say. And LVO is not necessarily known for being like the most narrative friendly, you know, situation, but I thought it was fantastic, honestly. So that would be about it from my tournament experience. What I thought that would probably be like that one of my top like 3 experiences was LVO this past year, 2018, with my friend Joe and Jeff Brown, Team LVO. We were representing, and what a great time. But I will say that Age of Sigmar in general, I think because the rules are all there, I mean, for now, the rules are free, the war scrolls are there, you know, it does make, and the list building is relatively simple, it does make all the kind of hang-ups about going to tournaments a little bit less. You know, you're not gonna get the 1 point didn't pay for my bolt pistol type controversies at Age of Sigmar tournaments. Typically, you might get a nudge gate here or there, but that can happen in any game apparently. But you know, anyways, those are my thoughts on terms. I mean, it's very rough, very maybe meandering, but yeah, I think tournaments are fantastic. And even if you're not the most competitive player, they're typically not filled with the most competitive players anyways, so you know, I think that it's well worthwhile. Just for the exposure, I would say. That's probably the biggest thing. You meet so many like-minded people, right? And you learn a lot from them, and you get to see the way that, you know, you get to see like how things work in real game situations, right? And I think it's fantastic. So if you get a chance, if you have the opportunity to go to a tournament, I would say definitely take it.